Yeah, I had nothing to drink. I was dying.
Wow.
I wasn't really dying, but I was a little thirsty.
I was
A little
parched.
thirsty. I was parched, yes. And I remember, where was I? I was on the train another time. This is another weird story. And, you always, when you travel, you always, especially trains and buses, you always sit near weird people.
Oh yeah.
Not like planes, you get weird people, but you're less likely to get weird people.
Uh-huh,
But,
uh-huh.
yeah,
Even if it is, so what's the maximum time,
it's, yeah, a
right?
couple hours, maybe 5 hours if it's cross country, something like that, yeah.
Right.
So I sat next to this guy on the train, and he was in the military. I don't know, Army maybe, but he was going, and this may have been that same trip. He didn't know where he was going or how he was supposed to get there. He was very confused, and he's showing like the conductor would come around and do the tickets and everything, and he'd show me. He'd say, "Now it says I got to go to this place. Have you ever heard of this?" And he was going to Philadelphia. I was like,
He said,
it's
"Have you
like
ever heard of
yes,
Philadelphia?"
yeah. He was like asking everybody. I've never heard, and I was like, yes, it's Philadelphia, but I don't even think he could read, and very bizarre. But he was taking like a train.
Right.
Like he was
Philadelphia
going.
was the capital of the continental United States
Yes, he was
for a
taking
very
his
long
train though. Was like he was supposed to go somewhere, but he was like going past where he was going to go to Philadelphia to get on another train and then go back to where he was going. And I'm sure it was because one, I'm pretty sure he was illiterate and obviously not very intelligent either. Because literate or not, you had to have heard of Philadelphia.
time.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
who hasn't seen Rocky? I mean, everybody knows Philadelphia.
Right, right. That's
Yeah, so
ridiculous.
it was just very weird, and maybe it was like a candid camera, and I didn't know it, but. Yeah. Or that, what would you do? And you've got, obviously a mentally challenged person. Would you help them out, or would you look at them funny? Guess we know what I do.
You just,
I just looked at
yeah.
him funny. Yeah, it's weird. So those were my traveling adventures on trains and buses.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
My planes have been good for the most
Yeah.
part. For the most part, but trains not so good. And buses really, really not good.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was brings back memories.
Yeah, I should take a adventure just for fun.
I think if you're doing it just to see the sights, like the country and stuff, a train, and you
Uh-huh.
have maybe a sleeper car where you can
That's what
sleep and stuff.
they sent me on a sleeper car from Richmond to Florida, which is pretty cool. But I was too nervous to
Go to sleep.
go to sleep. Yeah.
That would be a lot
When I
more
got to
fun.
Orlando, right, I couldn't pee. Right, I think I told you this, right?
No,
And
no.
oh yeah, dude, I was like, so when you showed up in boot camp, right?
It's the first thing you do. You have to pee. Yeah,
Yeah, you had to give your urinalysis, right?
right.
And dude, I could not do it.
Oh, I
Man,
think everybody is because you're not used to having to do this. Especially back then, every place you work didn't test for drugs, and so this is
right.
most people's first experience of having to do it on command and not like we had a doctor's office, but having some angry Filipino man yelling at you to pee.
Right, right. And the crazy thing is that I mean, it's not that I had to pee. I felt my bladder was like full.
You just couldn't do
It's
it.
just like people yelling at me, and
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. I mean, you've been traveling all day. You're scared. You don't know what's going on, and they're making you pee in a little cup. Were they watching you too, or were they?
I think they had to, yeah, but I was walking, so they tell me, keep drinking, walk. So
Oh
they
yeah,
had me
yeah.
walking up and down the aisle. Like every time I'd walk by the water fountain, I'd
You take a drink.
kinda
Yeah,
take a sip, right? And
your stomach's
it just
about to
wouldn't-
burst, but
right, it just wasn't working. So eventually,
yeah.
eventually, holy crap, like 3 a.m, I did, and then shortly after that, they do the thing, you get into bed and they throw the garbage can down now. Say, get on the line, right? And you're like,
Oh,
what?
man.
What line? What? I'm in my underwear. Where am I? You're like, what's going on here?
Oh, I remember that first night. Because we got there. I mean, you get there late at night and you get processed and stuff, and they send you into some barracks room and they give you some stuff, and it's like really late, and then the guy that's going to be in charge of you, comes in maybe like 3 hours later. You get like 2 or 3 hours sleep at most.
Oh yeah.
And
If that.
but I think he came in that night and he told us to told us where to put our stuff and what to wear and all this stuff. Next morning, a couple hours later, he comes in, wakes us all up, and everybody get in line and have your swim trunks on and your t-shirt or whatever it was. And I'm looking around frantically. I can't find my swim trunks. I'm like, oh my God, they've stolen, somebody's, my first night here and somebody's already stolen something from me. And I'm like, and everybody's in the line and I'm just looking for my stuff. I can't find it. And he comes over to me and says, what are you doing? I said, I can't find my swim trunks. He says, he looks at me and says, I thought I told you to put those on last night and sleep in them. And I look down.
Oh, what?
I look down. And I'm like, oh, never mind.
Oh, you were in them?
I was in them, yeah. But it's just so panicked. And
so did he not realize that you were wearing them?
Well, I had sweatpants over them.
Oh.
But so I didn't see him right away. But I had, I just kind of pulled my sweatpants and looked, and I was like, oh. And he looked at me and he started laughing.
That's funny.
But, yeah, that was. I mean, that's just kind of the mental state you're in at that point. You're just so out of it.
Yeah, it's all confusion.
You're sleep deprivation, and you're just panicked. And yeah, so that was my first.
Your first night.
My first night in boot camp. Yeah. Oh, what a nightmare.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was not good.
Not good.
Not good. Oh, it was. Well, you know how it was. It was just you have no idea what to expect, and
yeah. And you're worried about, and they got the open stalls for the bathroom, and you're worried about people looking at you.
No, well, you know my story about the open stall. I didn't even.
Yeah, you
didn't experience that for 6 weeks.
You couldn't even use it. Yeah, because you're afraid of the hate crimes.
The hate crimes. Oh yeah.
You don't want to be a victim of a hate crime.
I don't know if they even had hate crimes back then, but I think they were, or if they did, they were in the early stages.
Yeah.
Where people just started hating. People just started hating each other.
Because that's a new thing. The hate.
It's new. Yeah.
It's pretty new. And so
I believe it came out sometime after the Civil War is when hate crimes started.
Right. There were love crimes before.
Love crimes before that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just sodomy and rape. That was the only crimes that there used to be.
That's right.
And I consider those love crimes.
That's right. Speaking of the hate crimes, there's a new one in the news up in Beantown.
In Beantown, Boston.
Boston. Home of the.
Is that actually, people say Beantown because of Boston baked beans?
Yes, that's why.
Okay.
They do call it that.
Up.
Yeah.
Clear that mystery up.
Yeah, I mean it's Boston baked beans, Beantown. Yeah. Although you never if you go to Boston, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a place that serves baked beans. People just don't. I don't think people really eat them.
Wait, you mean the candy?
No, the actual the blue and red can, the baked beans, not the candy ones. You're talking about Boston baked beans.
I said candy.
Oh, the candy?
Boston baked beans. There's the candy.
Oh, right? No. It's not named after the candy. I think it's named after the real baked beans.
Oh, the real baked beans? Huh.
Yeah, and then the candy is named after the real thing. So
interesting.
Easily confusion there. I can understand where you would get lost in that one.
Yeah.
So
anybody even talking about hate crime?
Hate crime up in Boston.
Okay. I was gonna say you're committing some hate crimes.
No, I was not committing. I would not do that. I love everyone, Lenny. You know that.
Yeah.
As long as you're not stupid, you don't know what Philadelphia is.
That's a good point, because I think anybody who's not stupid, I can deal with. I got nothing against anybody, but once you cross that, once you're on the other side of the bell curve, I got a lot of hate for you.
But then there's it's weird because there's an area where you just don't want to be. You can be smart or really smart, or you can be mentally. I don't know how to say this politically correctly, but mentally challenged or legally. Below 75 on the IQ scale. I don't want to say retarded, but mentally retarded. Yeah. Mentally retarded. I don't think you can even say that's like a hate crime to say that now, I think. But people are more accepting of them and accepting of smart people. But if you're in that area where you're just stupid, but not mentally retarded.
Right.
It's like unacceptable.
Oh yeah.
Whereas I think where this guy was, where this Philadelphia man, where he fell.
The man headed to the mysterious wilds of the
Wilds of Philadelphia.
wilds
I
of
don't
Philadelphia.
I don't even know where he was going, but he was like passing through it and then coming back.
Yeah.
And he kept asking the conductor. He's asking the conductor, "Do I?" And the conductor's looking at us like, "Do you want to go to Philadelphia?" And he was like, "No, I never heard of it." He said, "Where do you want to go?" And he's saying, "Whatever town." And I think it was like coming up the next stop. And he's like, "Well, why don't you just get off here?" Well, my ticket says I got to go to Philadelphia and go there. And I was like, well, we're coming through that town. You don't have to go all the way to Philadelphia and come back. Just get off the train.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, he was definitely in that area where you don't want to be.
That's dumbness.
The dumb area. Yeah.
Yeah, that dude probably reproduced.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is sad.
probably multiple times with the multiple mothers. For some reason they seem to be very attractive to the opposite sex.
The stupid.
Stupid, yeah. They like them.
The women love the stupid.
Women love the stupid. Only when it comes to like the short-term relationship, because after that, if they actually mate with them and reproduce, then they're pissed off at them for life because they're so stupid.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, because they're pissed off because they're never going to earn a decent living. They're never going to pay their child support. They're never going to get a job. It's what can you do?
Yeah. More on the hate crime.
Yeah, hate crime. So we got a guy, black guy. This is in Boston, a train station, the Forest Hill station.
Right.
And he's walking down, minding his own business, walking with his backpack on, as kids do these days. I don't know how. He was probably, I think in his 20s probably. He wasn't wasn't too young, wasn't old. And I guess going down the stairs, he bumped a couple girls with his backpack, brushed into him or something.
Okay.
And, if that happened to me or you, obviously we would turn and just beat the utter snot out of him.
I would attack.
Attack, gang up on him, kick him, break his nose, and just beat the ever-loving snot out of him.
So he was really brutalized, huh?
Yeah, it says they broke his nose, and they beat him up pretty good, I guess. All the while yelling homophobic slurs at him.
And racial, too, right?
I didn't read anything about racial.
But if he was a black guy,
Which would make,
they're yelling.
Which would make it doubly weird because, of course, his attackers were two black female lesbians.
3? I thought it was 3 black female.
Oh, 3?
Lesbians.
Well,
yeah.
Oh yeah. The two sisters, and one of their partners, or domestic partners. Domestic partners, yes.
But they all look like dudes.
They all except for the guy who got beat up.
He probably looked pretty femme.
Yeah. No, he looked normal to me. All right. So the big question is, do they charge him with a hate crime
or a love crime?
Or love crime?
What's the? Yeah. What?
Well, how do you? Okay. There's a couple views on this is whether hate crimes are even necessary, because some people say a crime is a crime,
right?
And then some people say you want to put the message out there that kind of intolerance will not be accepted. That intolerance will not be tolerated.
that intolerance will not be tolerated.
We will not tolerate your intolerance. Yes.
Right.
So I don't know what to think, and I guess the judge didn't think too heavily of the case they had for a hate crime, because I think he gave him a $500 bail, set their bail at $500, which not a whole lot.
No, but the reasoning, their lawyer, right? They had a lawyer that said, well, they can't commit a hate crime,
right? Because they're gay.
They're gay.
Now, and the prosecutor argued that people can hate people in their own group. You can have anti-Semitic Jews. You can have any group can hate themselves, hate people in their own group.
Yeah, how about that? That's pretty crazy stuff.
Now, do you have to? I would think Could you